Welcome to Into the Filmverse, a movie fan podcast. Today we are non-spoiler reviewing M3GAN. I'm Mytchel Chandler.
And I'm Bryce Payne.
And like I said, we're talking about M3GAN. M3GAN is the newest release from Blumhouse. It follows a little girl as she gets a new toy from her aunt who adopts her after her parents die in a poor car crash.
That's not a spoiler, by the way. They literally spoil the entire movie in the trailer.
It's in the trailer, yeah. So, I mean, she gets this doll that basically is a android akin to, I don't know...
Chucky in 2019.
Yeah, exactly. 2019 Chucky. In fact, I say, move aside, Chucky. This is your spiritual sister. Maybe not move aside, but yeah, they're moving in. They're bunking in the same bunk bed. This is a bonkers film that I think everyone will definitely enjoy if you like that horror, if you like kind of like horror comedy, if you like that.
I would say unintentional horror comedy.
That's true. It definitely was unintentional. This film is PG-13, so there's not as much blood as you'd expect from this. It definitely the trailers lend itself to being a slasher a little bit, especially in some of the scenes, but it ended up being more of like a thriller comedy, like I said.
It's kind of strange how that worked out, too, because you get some slasher elements, but they never delve straight into that.
Right. No, exactly. And I think a lot of there's a lot of scenes in this film that I don't think were intentionally meant to be funny, but we laughed, like the audience, and we laughed at them as if they were.
It wasn't even the whole audience. It was just our row, really. Like, we were all having the time of our life.
We started, going like, oh, hell nah, or like, don't go in there. And, normally I'm not a proponent for, yelling at the screen. But I think, the row that we were in didn't mind that little bit of a brief comedy.
It lended itself to the experience, honestly. Like, because it feels like the film's trying to take itself serious, but when you can make it into like an intentional comedy, it just becomes a great blast to watch.
Exactly. And then let's say M3GAN, it was actually super cool. I mean, I wasn't sure. I mean, and not the movie with the actual character of M3GAN, the android. I wasn't sure whether or not going into this, that was really the main thing that was going to make this work was if that android looked cool, and she did.
So I think I heard that the android is really just a girl in a mask.
Oh.
And so they had the voice played by one actress, while the body was performed by another, which I probably helped this a lot, because if you don't get the style of M3GAN correct, it would have destroyed the film.
Yeah, that's very true, because this definitely every scene she was in, you were like on the edge of your seat, not knowing what was going to happen next.
She was so eerie. She would just be like sitting there staring, and you're just like, oh no, what's going through that mind?
It very much was dealing with some themes and motifs we've already seen before in like technology and it going too far.
Well, and then I would say raising your kids absent-minded, like distracted by technology.
True. Actually, that was something that was interesting. That dynamic that worked very well was the aunt and the kid. Seeing their relationship blossom and how that worked out was actually really cool.
It's just something where you see the aunt is a game designer, or not game designer, a toy designer.
Right.
And so she is designing this toy, but she's almost as distracted by technology as anybody else would be, and she's kind of forcing that onto her niece instead of being in person.
Exactly.
It's where the whole thing of M3GAN comes in.
Yeah, it's not only are we looking at technology being pushed too far, but we're looking at technology in our lives and the role of a parental figure versus the over-reliance on technology.
Absent parenting.
Yeah, exactly, absent parenting, which is definitely a thing as we move in further into the 21st century.
100%. And I mean, the thing where we've seen this kind of thing before would definitely be in like Child's Play's remake, which is why there's a lot of comparison between Chucky and M3GAN, because they are very similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah, no, they definitely are, and I totally get those similarities. That's why I said, there definitely is going to be a sequel to this. I have to imagine, not necessarily because of what the ending sets up, but just because of the occult following that this seems like it's gonna start having.
It's a strange thing with Blumhouse horror is that it's always either a hit or a miss, and this has definitely been a hit. I think in the first weekend alone, it's made back its budget.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and I think a lot of that is just because of the unintentional comedy that happens in this film, and just all the characters work so well. I think the child actress is really good. You know, sometimes they don't work that well, but I think she did.
No, and she has a couple scenes where like people in our theater were shocked by what happened. Like there's one scene in particular which I won't get into, but the guy sitting next to Mytchel was like, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah,
like especially for like parents. I think like it will definitely affect parents different compared to like people that don't have children.
You know, and what I actually do appreciate about this film, I mentioned that it was PG-13. It actually is kind of cool to see a PG-13 horror flick work as well as it does.
Now, I did hear that there is most likely going to be an unrated cut coming out when this gets a at-home release.
Sure.
Which I'd be interested in seeing if that changed the film at all, if it made it better. Because you have the people that inevitably go, well, it would have been better if it was rated R. It would have been better with more gore. It would have been better with more of those kind of scenes and motifs. But I'm interested to see if it actually does change enough in the movie to make it a better experience.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
That'll be in a couple months, though. We'll see when it gets a physical release.
Exactly. Well, that pretty much wraps up our thoughts on M3GAN. What did you guys think? Are you going to see this film? Have you seen this film? Did you not like it? Did you like it? We love to hear all of your thoughts.
Was it the best movie of 2023 so far?
Yeah, because only movie 2020. Probably. Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section or wherever you're listening at. And if you want to follow us anywhere, you can look us up at Into the Filmverse, pretty much anywhere you listen or watch. And then if you want to find me on the social media, you can find me at Mytchel Chandler on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and at Mytch Reviews on Letterboxd, and Mytch is spelled Mytch.
And if you want to see my review of M3GAN, you can check it out on Letterboxd at Payne Reviews, Payne Reviews. And you can find me on Twitter at Sanguine Films.
Awesome. Until next time,
Excelsior!